Okay, so we're going to talk today about the area of a triangle. And if you've watched the video of area of parallelograms, then this note card is going to look very familiar to you. In that video, we took this note card and we measured the base and the height of our note card, which we found the base was 6, the height is 4. Now remember, we know that this is the base and the height because base and height make a right. They'll always make that right angle. Now, we said this note card was a parallelogram because it has 2 pairs of parallel lines. So here's one pair, here's the other pair. And we know that those opposite parallel sides are congruent. So if this base is 6, this base is 6. If this height is 4, then this height is 4. And again, we know that this is base and height because they make that right angle. Now, we knew this was a rectangle. We can get even more specific because all 4 of our angles are right angles. So we're going to look at today how we get the formula for the area of a triangle based off of our parallelogram that we have here. So I'm going to take my note card and I am going to make one cut on my note card to form a triangle. So if I take my note card and I cut it from corner to corner diagonally, with just that one cut, I have formed 2 triangles. And again, I didn't get rid of any of my note card. If I put it still together, I still have a height of 4 and a base of 6. So I didn't get rid of anything. I just cut that parallelogram in half. So one triangle is half the area of a parallelogram. So our formula for the area of a triangle, we can see it written 2 different ways. My favorite way, and I'll show you why it's my favorite way, but my favorite way is to write it as A equals base times height divided by 2. Or you might also see it as A equals 1/2 base times height. Because remember, dividing by 2 and multiplying by 1/2, it's the same thing mathematically. But I always like the base times height divided by 2. So if I were going to do the area of this triangle, so I have my formula. I'm going to substitute in what I know. So I know here that my base is 6. My height is 4. Let me put some parentheses around that. And I'm going to divide it all by 2. So first step, because I got to follow order of operations, is multiplicative. So my first thing that I have multiplicative is 6 times 4, which would give me 24, divided by 2 for a final area of 12 inches squared. Okay, but remember, not every triangle is going to look like this. We have right here a scalene triangle because all of my sides are going to be different, and it is a right angle here, but it might not always look like that. So we're going to draw 2 other triangles to see what this formula would look like. So with some room down here at the bottom, the first triangle I want you to draw is going to look like this. So similar to what we have before, I'm going to say this down here is my base, and I have a base of 4 4/10 centimeters. And then this one right here is my height, and I have a height of 4 4/10 centimeters. And remember, my base and height make a right. So I'm going to start by writing my formula. A is equal to base times height divided by 2. I'm going to substitute in what I know. I'm going to do it up here because I kind of ran out of room. So I have my base is 4 4/10 times my height, which is also 4 4/10, all divided by 2. So let's multiply up here where I've got some room. So I have 4 4/10. Oh, goodness gracious. Let's try that again. 4 4/10 times 4 4/10. There we go. So here we go. 4 times 4 would give me 16. So write the 6, carry the 1. 4 times 4 is 16 again, plus 1 more for 17. Think like a chicken, scratch out what I don't need and lay an egg. 4 4 is 16, so write the 6, carry the 1. 4 4 is 16 again, plus 1 more is 17. So add this all together. 6 plus 0 is 6. 7 plus 6 is 13, so write the 3, carry the 1. 1 plus 1 plus 7 gives me 9, and then 1. And then don't forget to move that decimal. So I get 19 and 3600ths divided by 2. So now for my next step, let's do 19 and 3600ths, oh goodness, divided by 2. So 2 will go into 19 9 times. 9 times 2 is 18. So when I subtract, I get 1. Got to bring that decimal up to the top. Remember, decimals like to ooh it, raise the roof. So I brought up my 1. I'm going to bring down my 3. 2 will go into 13. 6 times. 6 times 2 is 12. So when I subtract, I get 1, bring down the 6, and 2 goes into 16 8 times. So I get a final area of 9 and 6800ths centimeters squared. Okay, but then I might also have a triangle that looks like this. Now remember, when you go to the doctor, you don't want to slant over, lean over to try and have them find your height. So we're always going to be looking for where base and height make a right. So here we go. My base down here, I'm going to say is 10 meters. Now, my height cannot be either one of these lines here because either one of these lines are leaning over. They do not make a right angle. So my height is actually going to be on the inside of my triangle because it's going to form that right angle. And I'm going to say that my height here is 8 meters. So writing our formula, A is equal to base times height divided by 2. Substituting what I know in this problem that my base is 10. My height is 8. I'm going to divide that all by 2. I know that 8 times 10 would give me 80 divided by 2. So I get a final area of 40 meters squared. So again, in any triangle we see, we're taking base times height divided by 2. And we cannot forget that base and height make a right.